Hello, everyone, and thanks to Tropical Storm Zeta, I decided to cancel our synchronous learning time or our class time together today. There are just way too many issues with internet and power that I'm, letting you guys do this work on your own time. This doesn't mean, however, that you can just, freely do whatever you like. You still have work to do, and there is still an expectation that even though I've given you all of this time back, you are still doing the work. Don't abuse this, is all I'm going to say. All right. So today marks a brand new unit. This is Unit 6. I titled it, It's All About the Money. This is really the rise of empires. This is how countries become who they are right before World War One. So we're getting to the good stuff now, the interesting stuff to most of you. So today's topic is the Industrial Revolution. So on Canvas, I have it laid out as usual. You have your notes, tons of great videos. I do highly suggest that you also watch the capitalism versus socialism crash course because we'll talk about that tomorrow with economic systems. So you have the video and then you have the lecture video and then the notes for the Industrial Revolution. Now, your assignment for today is actually an Industrial Revolution project. So, too often with the Industrial Revolution, we do specifically focus on Europe. But in the lecture video, I say that it starts in England and then it expands. And it slowly expands. Europe had their Industrial Revolution 200 years ago. But as the world continues developing, you start to see other countries going through their industrial revolution. So what you're going to look at is you're going to do a project on these countries that are in the midst of their industrial revolution. So the way this works is you will have the opportunity to explore a country of your own choice. I'm not making this choice for you. It's yours. And then you get to select the topics in particular that you look at. And then you're going to present those topics. And I'll explain each of these in just a second. So what countries are we looking at? Well, I give you a list. So you are going to choose one of these countries, either Mexico, China, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Indonesia, Colombia, or Iran. All right? You're going to choose one of those countries that you think might be interesting to do. Then you're going to choose two topics to specifically look at in those countries. So let's say that I'm going to choose Colombia, all right? And I am really interested in looking at, factory systems, which is number 5, and gender roles in Colombia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore what conditions are like for people working in the factories as well as the way goods are produced in these factories, specifically in Colombia, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing with gender roles. I'm going to explore how the roles of men and women have changed from moving to an agricultural system to a more modern activity with women in education and work, specifically in Colombia. All right, so I'm going to do the research on this. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to find multiple websites that talk about these two things. And then from there, what you're going to do after you've done your research is you are going to choose 2 products to create. All right, for one for each of the 2 topics that you selected. So let's say for gender roles, I'm going to create a I'm going to create a newspaper article. I like writing. So I'm going to write a newspaper article, which is 200 to 300 words, informing the public, including a picture on the gender roles in Colombia. And then for the other one, for factory systems, let's say I found out that the working conditions in these factories are atrocious, are absolutely terrible. So I'm going to write a letter to the leader of that country, giving them advice on what to do with their factory systems and their working conditions. Plain and simple as that. Then the last piece of this is you're going to record yourself presenting your two products in like a 5 to 8 minute presentation. All right. You're not going to read your product, you're going to explain your product. So if I wrote a letter to the leader of Colombia informing them on their factory systems, then I'm going to explain what about the factory systems I am talking about, and then why I felt the need to write the letter to the president and what my advice is. It's plain and simple as that. All right. Now for each product, you need your works cited page. So like you need a list of sources that you used to get your information. This isn't new. We've talked about this before. This is due Sunday by midnight, Sunday, November 1st. By midnight. You're going to submit all of your materials directly to Canvas. You can do multiple submissions. You can actually upload multiple files at the same time in one submission. You are going to upload your video of your presentation. You're going to upload your individual artifacts, and then that's it. That's all you have to do. And then I give you a rubric of what specifically I'm looking for in all of this. All right. I know that's a lot. It looks like a lot. But don't worry. I am